Hey, my friend.
How you doing, G?
I'm well. How are you?
I am wonderful, wonderful, wonderful this morning and
Yes.
super excited because this series really jazzes me. I am like all about educators being to live their full lives. So this is super exciting for me.
I do know for both of us, for sure. Why don't you tell us who we have joining us today?
Yeah. So let's first I'm just gonna let people know a little bit more about the series, just in
Yes.
case folks forgot. But this is our Passion Project series where we talk to amazing educators all over the world who are doing fabulous stuff, both inside and outside of the classroom. They are not living an undivided life or a divided life, I should say, but rather really making sure that they are fulfilling who they are in their whole human teacher selves by following their passions outside of the classroom, which of course brings them love and light to their educational experience as professionals.
Yeah.
And today we are blessed and honored to have our educator friend, Ms. Denisha Robinson, join us, who is educator extraordinaire, author, entrepreneur, and speaker. Welcome, 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 Tanitra.
Hello, ladies. Thank you for having me. How are you guys doing?
We are
Doing
well.
great, doing great. How are you in the great state of Texas?
Right now in Texas, it is hot
Oh,
and
I
humid.
can't even imagine. Is
I
it?
know.
It is here in Houston. It's always hot. We're close by the water. That's why.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
close by the water too. It's fitting to snow.
No snow here. None here. It is hot.
This is exciting. We are so glad you were able to join us and share a little bit about your passions. And thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. My
Absolutely.
pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Tanitra, please start with telling us, sharing with our audience who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey in education.
Well, hello and greetings again. I am Tanitra Robinson. I'm actually a 22-year educator. This is year 22. Grateful. God graced me, blessed me enough to stay. I am also a full-time mom, have two amazing teenagers, ages 17 and 16, both girls. And we're just doing what we can do every day to be the best that we can here in the great state of Texas.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about, if you have always been an educator, and if not, what was your, give us a synopsis of what was your journey in education?
Here at 22 Baha'i, actually arrived at education was my dad. My dad is who's not an educator, actually was the one that said, you know what, I think you will be a great teacher. I think you will do well with children. My major in college was broadcast. So I came from a background, everything was technical, cameras, go figure. Lots of writing, which is what I love to do most. And then I decided to just transition into education. I figured, I don't want to work weekends, reporting a lot of the hard stories, interning, seeing a lot of things, and just decided to give it a shot. And here I am, 20 something odd years later. I've stuck with it and it has served me well.
Wow. So, Tanisha, tell us, what do you teach? What grades or what grades have you taught in education for these 22 years?
I am in elementary and I've had the pleasure of teaching, believe it or not, all grade levels except for one. I have not taught fourth grade, didn't teach fourth grade. Not sure if I want to teach fourth grade, but I am currently in second grade, and out of 22 years, 18 has been in second. And
What?
so we
Wow.
clearly know what my favorite grade level is, second grade.
Wow.
Mine
God
too.
be with you. Be with
Yes,
you.
Mine too. I
second.
love second grade. Love second
Love
grade.
it. Yes, second grade. But being in education, there's been some great times, there have been some challenging times, but more importantly, you get to shape those little minds, of what we call our little people, and just really make some great impacts and just really get to impart some amazing things in them from day to day.
Yes, yes. So you told us a little bit earlier that you enjoy writing and writing is your passion. So share with us what led you to your passion project of, being an author, an entrepreneur, and a speaker.
I became an author actually July 5th. I completed the book literally, I think in 30 days, maybe. So I had a goal to complete the book because naturally my gift is writing. And I decided, you know what? I just reached a point in my career, as most people probably may have experienced, that it gets a little challenging at times. And then I just became unfulfilled, honestly. And I just began to really, dig a little bit deeper, dive a little bit more deeper just to find out where is it that I'm really supposed to be? What am I here on earth for? So many people look forward to Friday and hate to see Monday coming. And I just didn't want to be one of those individuals. And so I'm a huge, huge fan of the late, great Dr. Miles Monroe. One book that did change my life is called In Pursuit of Purpose. And at that point in time in my life, I was truly in pursuit of purpose. What am I here for? What am I called to do? I think I kind of know what I'm gifted at, but I'm not sure if this is it. And we see so many kids coming in on a day-to-day basis, even adults. And I'm just wondering, wow, if these kids truly knew their superpower, is what we like to call it, because that's the lingo, the vocabulary that they understand. If they truly understood their superpower and what they were good at, how would that impact the learning environment? If I could show these babies, hey, you were good at that. You're good at, and some things that they're good at may not even be academically related. There are students who are great at cooking and designing, things that have nothing to do really with a book, a pencil, and piece of paper. But if we could somehow show them that this is your gift, this is what you're great at, and they might not be able to discover their purpose as of yet, but what would school really be like if kids knew their gifts and their talents? And, in the school system, we do have something called, in other areas, they may call it talented and gifted and talented, but it's more slated in academic. What was your score on this test? And it's just like we've got to break away from that and really get kids to see that your worth, your self-worth, your value is not tied up into a standardized test. That's probably a whole nother show in itself.
No, that's this show because you're talking. You even see the change in your posture as you're talking about that.
Yeah,
You never told us the title of your book, and
I'm so
you know
sorry.
what? No, no, no.
I got
Tell
it
us the
here.
title, yes,
Okay,
and tell us what it's
yes.
all
I
about.
am ready. This is the 187 School Day Challenge by Denisha Robinson. And what it is that this book breaks down, and it's very simple. The format is very simple. It's where I give students a daily task. Day one, it might be sit next to someone at lunch that you don't know and smile at them. So they're given these challenges, so to speak. And I start off very calm, very subtle. But as they go throughout the challenges, when they get to day 55 versus day 75, they might discover that they're going to be pushed out of their comfort zone. It may be, we'll go to the library and ask her, can you help her shelve books? And so I put these little tasks in here so that students can see that you don't really have to wait to become an adult to do what it is what you want to do. There are kid entrepreneurs out here who are already doing it. And so all it takes is just a little idea, a little spark, something subtle, something simple. But again, as the book is set up for 187 school days, because in elementary here in Texas, we're functioning on 187 school day instructional system.
Yeah.
And so if kids, again, simply knew what they were good at, I think it would kind of calm down the anxiety that we see. I think it would beef up more of their self-worth, and they can see that, hey, I am somebody. I do have a purpose here. I'm good at this. And it's not just, that I may be great in reading. I may be great at designing the school's football jerseys. So it's just getting them out of their comfort zone and really pushing them to think outside of the box. If someone would have told me at age 10 or 12 that I probably could have been a published author, I think by now I probably would have had a million books, but I just sat there thinking how many kids felt like Tanitra on a day-to-day basis. And typically kids don't sit up and question themselves and say, what am I here on earth for? But they can identify with me in a sense of maybe what it felt like to be an underdog. Hey, I don't really know what I'm good at, or am I good at anything? And so to see kids come alive, to see kids get excited about talking about what really intrigues them, I think that's the true gist of education. I don't think education is necessarily tied up in a book, a notebook. I think education can be sitting on grandma's front porch. And if you've learned something that day, that is education. And I tell teachers now coming in, there's a totally big difference between the school system and education, because we use education interchangeably. And the truth of the matter is the school system and the education system, two totally different areas. Very different. Very different.
I'm excited about your book. I will be ordering a copy for my niece. I think that's an awesome idea. I love it.
Thank you. And kids are educated across this country. From based on what I've seen, education has truly evolved, and I am on this huge, huge mission. I do believe it is my calling. It is my life's purpose to go and be the mouthpiece and say, hey, this is your gift. This is your talent. This is something that you were born with. This is what you are called to do. And in reading and actually studying that book that was given to me by Dr. Miles Monroe, that book is forever changing my life. It changed the trajectory. It dictated what I did, how I did it, when I did it, because it also made sense, and it gave me a sense of fulfillment. When I would come home and work on my own personal goals, that's where the energy came from. I got excited, which was why I was able to push out a book in 30 days. And so I'm wondering how many other passion projects could our students do if they knew what they were great at?
Tanitra, you talk so passionately about, helping students figure out where their passion lies and what they want to do, utilizing your book and the 187 challenges. And so this is a two-part question. One is, how did you know that this was your passion?
That's what I want to know. Hold on. Don't make us answer anything else. Hold on. Go ahead.
Was that one right there?
Yes, up there. And then do the second one.
Okay.
I was going to ask that.
So how did you know that this was your passion, that this was what you were supposed to be doing? This was the book you were supposed to write?
You know what? That's a very great question. I actually had been in prayer months before the book came. And I say this so wholeheartedly because my prayer really honestly was, oh God, give me a side hustle. I need some extra money. I'm not being fulfilled. Lord, what's my side hustle? Because I would see a lot of memes. I would see a lot of things, t-shirts, people saying, oh, grind your hustle. And I kid you not, I heard the Holy Spirit go, you don't need a side hustle. If you did what I've called you to do, your passion, if you hone in on your gifts and talents, you don't need a side hustle. You won't have to grind hard. As a matter of fact, you won't even have to chase the bag. The bag will find you because now you're operating in your gifts and your talents. You're operating in what I've placed in you already. It just needed to be birthed. And so I prayed for a title, and the title came clear as day, the 187 School Day Challenge. And it's actually for the elementary student, because again, here in Texas, we're on 187 school days. And so I'm like, okay, I can give them something to do for 187 school days. And hopefully, just hopefully, and maybe out of doing all the tasks, you may really cling to one task that you really enjoy doing. And that may be something simple as one of the days in there, I think it's day 35, maybe, design a meal plan for type 2 students, for students who have type 2 diabetes. Because now in elementary school, we're seeing a lot of kids come in who are type 2 diabetics. Mm-hmm. So something is going on with the nutrition here. So we may have a kid who's passionate about food and passionate about nutrition. So there's all types of future titles are sitting in these classrooms day in and day out. We have preachers, pastors, teachers, lawyers, doctors, rappers, writers, video gamers. We have some of everybody coming in and out these buildings every day. And I can't wait to see 30, 40, 50 years from now that if I plant the seed, who are they going to become? Because no one's really tugged at their coattails to say, hey, have you ever thought about have you ever considered? And the kids, I've done it with my own class, second graders. It blows them out of the water. And then I'll have them, if you could design a symbol to go with your gift or your talent to represent you, what would it look like? So now we're slowly tiptoeing into entrepreneurship. They don't know it, but I know it because I've also taught them that, hey guys, you have consumers, you've got producers, and you can't be mad at the producers because the producers figured out what their gift was and now they're profiting from it, because that's all an entrepreneur is. And so to see babies come in and learn about the 187 School Day Challenge, it's really been a blessing to me. And that's how I got started. Again, for me, it was just, God, what am I supposed to do here? I'm slipping. I'm getting unfulfilled. What's going to excite me? Where's my mojo? And I even looked back in my childhood for things, and the Holy Spirit kind of brought to my remembrance. Do you remember when you did this? Do you remember when you did that? And it's like, OMG, it's been here all this time. And you're going, yeah, you just needed to tap into it. And so it's really been a blessing. And preparing to write the 187 School Day Challenge for middle schoolers, because I figured you're so busy working on your gifts and your talents and working in your gift and talent. There's no time for bullying. There's no time for someone to get made fun of, because everybody is working in their lane and doing what they've been called to do.
Let me know if you need a reader for that one, because I'm your middle school girl right here.
I would love to. And it's just like, we've got to redirect our students to what's really important. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I always say everybody wants a little bit of dignity. Everybody wants a little bit of respect. But there's the best feeling in the world when you wake up and you absolutely know what you know, and why you're doing what you're doing. And I just figured, you know what, I must be the mouthpiece he's using at this current time to put this mass message out there that, hey, do you know your gifts and talents? And it's a conversation that I have with sorority sisters, good girlfriends, my own daughters. I do goal setting with them every year, teach them how to set goals, because now everything makes sense and they're not just here pondering on earth and wandering around. And so we really want our students to be global citizens, to be able to go out and compete, but more so be able to operate and truly thrive and do what has already been placed inside of you. And so it's amazing. It's really amazing.
Okay, Chandra, your second question.
That's beautiful. And my second question, which is also a hint for your next book, is 180 or 187, whatever the day challenge for teachers. Because my question was really going to be, right? You've figured out what you're supposed to do. What would be your advice and for other teachers to figure out where their passion lies? What is their inner stuff, right? Not their side hustle, which maybe it turns into that, right? But the thing is, as someone once explained to me, that you would do if you weren't getting paid for it, that just fills you with light.
Yeah. What's your advice for the teachers? Yes, I love that question.
You know what? It's funny because I actually have been coaching some teachers, because I've done it. I've done education long enough. Well, school system rather. And I see it every year. You have the new teachers, then you have the veteran teachers like myself, and you have the middle line teachers. The first piece of advice I honestly would give them, I would say, show up on time, leave on time, set boundaries. But more importantly, not even that advice just to teachers, really to anybody I come in contact with. If you didn't have to report to your job every day, and that's actually one of the questions I use, what would you be doing? And it gets people to thinking. I've actually helped people transition out of education and go into other fields that they were truly passionate about, because teaching for them was just, I just needed money. It presented stability. I just needed a job. So-and-so said I could go and teach because all I had to do was get the certification. And it's like, teaching is not for the faint at heart. You have to be in it. You have to be in it. But I would definitely advise them, as I always say, you show up. And of course, on any job, any career, you probably have to play the game because it's not yours. Clock out on time and go home and build your own passion. And that's something that people really would have to be in prayer for. Seek your gifts and your talents. What are your gifts? What are your talents? I actually had a coach to help me figure it out when I actually got to that point. A coach by the name of Will Murphy. And I'm here in Houston. Will and his business is based in Dallas. And it got just kind of really rough for me, honestly, to the point where just about every Saturday, I would show up for my sessions in Dallas, Texas. So I would get up here 4 a.m. in the morning, arrive in Dallas around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I've driven 4 hours from Houston, to Dallas, and I would do my coaching sessions. And they offered me to Skype, and I kept refusing. I said, no, I don't want to Skype. I want the full Monty. I want to experience it. I want to, be there. And he said, you must be really looking for something. You must be really looking for something. I said, I'm in pursuit of purpose, and it's detrimental. I've got to find out what it is. I know I'm close, but I need another brain to help me figure it out. And so I did. I would take the drive to Dallas every Saturday. And I'm there for maybe about 2-3 hours in a coaching session. And then I would drive back to Houston the same day. So I wasn't spending the night. I would drive back in the same day, and just experiencing that coaching session with Will Murphy allowed me to see, wow, I'm good at this, and that. So I have many other gifts that were hidden, that were pulled out. And I knew writing was the top one without a shadow of a doubt. Inspirational speaking is, so that's where that comes in. Even if I'm at work, on my planning time, I should be writing lesson plans. I probably should be doing some parent conferences, but I'll be honest, I'm in there coaching someone, giving them the story, guiding them, because again, so many people are unfulfilled. And they're unfulfilled because they don't know their gifts or their talents, or maybe have yet to kind of figure out their purpose. And that is the true fulfillment, not $1 million bag. $1 million bag helps. It always sweetens the deal. But true fulfillment comes from within, whether you have that million or not. Because when you do your gift, it's almost like you literally could do it for free.
Yeah. So give some advice for those teachers that want to continue but feel a little down, in the few moments that we have left.
My advice to those educators would be, you know why you are there. And there are some student there that absolutely needs your gift. And you keep, I don't want to say fight the system, but the system that we're in, we know what these babies need, and keep giving them what they need. Hang in there. I would say set boundaries, because what we're seeing now with the pandemic, there's a lot of burnout taking place. There are some teachers, honestly, just throwing in the towel. But if God has called you through it, definitely know this. He will definitely bring you through it. Set your boundaries. Show up on time. Do it with fidelity. Do the best you can with what you have. And then you clock out on time, because you have other commitments, other obligations, whether they may be a spouse, whether that may be a child or some children at home, or simply more time created for yourself to really start your business outside of your job. Because you don't need a side hustle. You just need to operate in your gift and your talent.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. You just said a whole word.
Yeah.
Word. And yes, boundaries. Clock in, but clock out. And
On time.
Yes. And thank you for giving teachers permission to do that. Right? Because we talk about that a lot. Like, let's stop giving each other the side eye, because folks are leaving on time. Let's start encouraging people because you're leaving on time. Yes.
It's not normal to do a bulletin board to 7 or 8 o'clock at night and then brag about it, because Miss Robinson leaves on time. And I always say, I show up on time, I leave on time.
With that smile. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon. Have a great weekend.
Yes. That's right.
Yes.
That's it.
Tell us, please, if people want to get in touch with you, if people want to get access to your book, how can they do that?
I am on Facebook as Tanitra Robinson, and it's backslash. I'm sorry, it's www.facebook.com/Tanitra Robinson. You can also find me at www.facebook.com/187school. And then lastly, www.mymentor.life/Tanitra Robinson, because I am a coach. I do offer coaching services for single moms, parenting, and of course, education.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. I mean, this was wonderful. It definitely, you say so much that Chandra and I say in our Educators Forum and in our Real Talk Real Time with Chandra and Gorgette. We're just so grateful to have you today.
Well, thank you, Queens, for having me. I'm so glad that you guys even have this platform. I am so stoked that I'm sending people your way. Yes, I can't wait for you guys to meet Dr. Christine. Oh, you are in for a treat. I promise.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And we are always blessed to have our word spread and have more folks join us, you know, to begin to show, to share, and to model that you can be your whole teacher self. Like, you don't have to be completely consumed with teaching to the point of burnout and dread. Like, you just don't. You just don't. There are other people out here who are doing amazing things.
This
and
is
I'm excited about that, to share that with the world. So thank you.
Keep sharing. Keep sharing. Keep sharing. Any way that I can be of service, please let me know. This is phenomenal.
Thank you.
Phenomenal.
And hopefully you will catch a future episode of the Passion Project. This is Real Talk, Real Time with Chandra and Gorgette. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
Yes. Tanitra, hold up your book one more time. One more time.
Yes. And pick up a copy of that book.
There you go.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.